Science. Today we are going to be practicing our science annotations. We're going to go ahead and make sure we are using our science annotation guideline. This is the same copy that is currently in your blue science literacy booklet. And we're going to be using this to annotate your characteristics of life reading. Now, this is just a quick guide. We have already covered this in class, but I want to make sure that we are all on the same page, and this video will always be here if you need a little extra help. So as a reminder, we annotate our science articles in order to better interact with the text and understand key ideas. So we are going to follow this guideline. So let's get started. We'll start with the before reading step. So before reading, we always number each paragraph and highlight the first word of each paragraph. I'm right here under before reading. We're going to do this one together. I will go ahead and get my highlighter ready. So let's go ahead and get a little closer look. So we're going to start by numbering our paragraphs. So we're going to number this first paragraph right here and highlight the first word of that paragraph. We're going to keep doing that. We have a total of 12 paragraphs in this reading. So let's go back up to our science annotation guideline and take a look at our next step. It looks like our next step here is going to be to label and highlight the title, the author, and the date. So let's go do that. Now, these articles in your booklet don't always have a date or an author, so we only have a title. That's going to be Unit 0, Characteristics of Life, and we will quickly write the label title. Our last step here is going to be to predict what the text will be about. Write this at the top corner of the text. So we'll go ahead and do this. Now, in order to do this, we need to look at the title, the headings, and skim the first and last paragraphs. So let's go do that together. We'll go ahead and take a look at the title. It says Unit 0, Characteristics of Life. We're going to read that first paragraph together. Go ahead and do that silently. Let's go ahead and go down to our last paragraph. Again, you can pause this video at any time in order to do what we are doing together. Now that we've done that, let's go back up and take a look at all of the different titles or section headers that we have in this reading. So the first one says, what makes something alive? Cellular organization. Fourth paragraph says metabolism. Fifth paragraph says energy. Sixth paragraph says homeostasis, growth and development, reproduction, response to stimuli, adaptation through evolution, importance of understanding living characteristics, and connection to biology. So now that I have a real quick understanding of what the text is about, I'm going to go to the top right corner and make my prediction. So we're going to write, I predict the text will be about and then fill in the blank there. So if I were to fill in the blank right now, I would say something about how this is about the characteristics of life. Now that we've done that, let's go back and look at our annotation guideline. We have completely finished our steps for before reading. We numbered our paragraphs, we labeled and highlighted the title, and we predicted what the text will be about. So we can move on to our during reading. Now, as we did in class, we are going to do steps number 1 and 2 of our during reading at the exact same time as we go through the text. We're going to put a box around any key terms, authors, or central words or numbers, and we are going to underline any relevant information. This could be descriptions, evidence, examples, explanations, main ideas, etc. It is dependent on the reading purpose. So let's go ahead. I will do 1 to 2 paragraphs with you so you can get an idea of what we are looking for. Paragraph 1, understanding the characteristics of living things is key to studying biology. Knowing these traits helps us tell the difference between what is alive and what is not. In this section, we will look at the important features that define living organisms, explore why these characteristics matter in biology, and discuss how they contribute to a variety of life on Earth. To me, it did not seem like there was any key terms in there. However, that first sentence in this reading seems very important. So we are going to go ahead and underline this. Let's move on to paragraph 2. It says, to figure out if something is alive, scientists use a set of criteria called the characteristics of living things. These characteristics include, we're going to go ahead and underline this part because this seems really important as well. If something is alive, we use a set of criteria. Let's go to paragraph 3, cellular organization. All living organisms are made up of 1 or more cells, which are the basic units of life. Cells can be classified into 2 main types. Unicellular, made of a single cell, like bacteria and protozoa. Multicellular organisms, made of many cells that can form tissues and organs, like plants and animals. We're going to go ahead and box any of the bolded words here. That means they are probably important. These ones are also bolded here. And for these 2 words, they have definitions with them. So we're going to go ahead and underline those definitions as well. And there's one more thing that seems super important to us and relevant to our reading purpose is this first sentence right here. I will let you do the rest of those steps. Now, the next thing you're going to do is interact with the text. Now, this is the handout that has the 6 boxes on it. You are going to do different interactions depending on how you feel and how you are connecting with the text. So depending on what I assign you, you will do a different number of these types of interactions. After reading, you're going to read the whole thing. You've boxed, you've underlined, you've done your writing in the margins. You are going to write a 6-sentence summary at the very end of the text. So you are stating the purpose of the text, using key terms and complete sentences. So typically you will do a 6-sentence summary unless I assign otherwise. We typically do this at the very end of the text. So at somewhere at the bottom, we will write our 6-sentence summary.